Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Seco Stadium here in sunny Stamford. Well, maybe not. It was last time we were here. It was glorious, and here we are at the polar opposite on a Tuesday cold night in November. Fans still coming in. You can see the teams on our screen, so we won't go through those. We did just one change, I think. Powell for York, and the rest is as is. But a critical game tonight as both sides flattering to deceive in the positions in the league. Stamford with just 3 points from their last 5 games. The Poppers with 4 points from their last 5 games. Stamford really have got the Indian sign on Kettering with goals in the 97th minute this season at Latimer Park and the 100th minute here last season to rescue draws from defeats. And this game, though, with them rooted at the bottom of the division, without a home win this season, their only win, in fact, came at Stourbridge. And Kettering are going to have to be at their best to stop a side who will be desperate to break that duck tonight. And Kettering not too full of confidence, but they've had a few days to consider and think about the game at Bromsgrove. And they had their game postponed here, Stamford, on Saturday against Sudbury. That would have been a relegation battle there with both teams at the bottom. And Poppies are 12 points behind where they were at the same stage last season. You may have seen that the Alf Church manager, Tim Flowers, has resigned. In fact, Alf Church's last win was against who? Yes, Kettering Town 9 games ago. And Tim threw the towel in. Alongside me is my colleague, Ed Palmer. He's on double duties tonight. Welcome, Ed.
Good evening, Cookie. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's going to be a difficult game, this one. Stamford looking to, as you said, break their duck. And what better team to do it against a team that, 2 teams that have a bit of animosity towards each other. There's a lot of fracas on the pitch, off the pitch, and between benches. And let's be honest, if Graham Drury didn't already have enough ammunition to want him to get to win, doing it against Kettering is going to boost him just that little bit more, isn't it?
It is indeed, and if you were here last season when they got the goal in the 100th minute, a foul on the goalkeeper, it swung in, nothing was given, and they equalised. You'd have thought Stamford had won the FA Trophy the way they were dancing around, but rightly so, 100th minute. As we say, the game is never over.
Yeah, and you've got to remember, at that time, Stamford were also chasing the playoff places as well, so that's a huge point, really, for them last season, and if the shoe was on the other foot, it'd be exactly the same. Not sure the Kettering fans felt quite that at the time.
But they're in second position, 7 points from 16 games. The leading goal scorer is Kai Sanchez Tong, and 2 of those are penalties. And as Ed said, they were challenging last season. And they're bottom, and they're well bottom at the moment of this division. And they're going to need a complete turnaround if they're going to rescue their season. But we're not too bothered about Stamford. It's Kettering Town that we're bothered in. And games against the 2 sides 2 seasons ago here. I think it was Andy Leese's first game of his tenure. We lost at 3-2, and as a Bennett penalty and Luthwaite, we won the home game 2-0 with Niall Ranger scoring both goals. But of course, we are struggling in that striker position. We've got Clifton up there again, and on the bench is Harrison Iwunzi, the loanee from Notts County's B team, who's scored 16 goals this season for them.
Yeah, I think he's a bit unlucky, actually, to not get a start. He had a fairly short cameo on Saturday, but he certainly physically fits the profile of the striker we're looking for. He's quite tall. He looks like he's got a bit about him, and he can certainly shift when he gets going. So
he's definitely muscular, isn't he?
Yeah, and 16 goals in any competition. I mean, the goals don't change. The goals are the same size no matter which competition you play in. So, a proven goal scorer, maybe not rushing him in, but it'll be interesting to see whether he gets a little bit more of a run out today. But it is, as you said, Mr. Clifton starting us off, leading the line. The only change, as you mentioned, Wes York coming in for Callum Powell. Alfie Lewis back on the bench after an injury, and Will Glennon still out with an illness. So not back yet. It's going to be Forsyth and Theo Robinson, who, to be fair, was probably playing himself into a man of the match performance on Saturday. Not that it was going to be difficult to play yourself into a man of the match performance on Saturday, but Alexander just got it, penalty save and a few decent saves as well. But it's just difficult to say in a 3-0 loss, isn't it? Not a bad debut for a defender, but as 3-0 losses go, it wasn't dreadful for him. None of the goals were his fault, and the majority of the goals came down the other side.
Yeah, you're spot on with all that. Alexander proving himself once again. 2 penalty saves this season, and on the losing side both times on that. In the Stamford side, there's a couple of ex-Poppies. Charlie Mazzarano, who had a brief spell with the Poppies. And on the bench, the evergreen John Challoner always comes on towards the end against Kettering. No Reece Sharp for Stamford tonight. Again, an ex-Poppy. Of course, they have a forward, Fletcher Toll, who scored a mountain of goals for Corby Town last season. He's failed to hit the road running so far. Let's hope that continues tonight. But never to be overlooked. It's going to be a tough game. And you can hear it here live on Poppies TV. And we'll bring you what we can from the other matches when we get the scores coming in on a night of Tuesday night football in late November.
Yeah, and the temperature's certainly late November. It's another cold one for the players to deal with. And expect a lot of gloves and long-sleeved shirts or undershirts. The majority of the fans here have congregated either in this stand here or to the large terrace behind the right-hand goal. Those are the only 2 bits of cover here at Stamford. As impressive as they are, we have this main stand which sort of covers the middle third of the pitch, and then the right-hand side, a really large, impressive-looking terrace, which the Kettering fans are in and singing in. And then the rest of the ground is open-aired. There is a sort of bit of hard standing to the left, which has some steps on it. But apart from that, it is very much open to the elements, and I believe it has just started to precipitate in the air.
Excellent. Well, there we have it. Plenty of room for development here at Stamford, but with Gates averaging around 300, they don't really get the support like Spalding, like Real Bedford, like Harborough, all teams that don't get good support, but manage to stay this division. Some of them bankrolled, of course, but Stamford find themselves at the opposite end of the league this season, and they'll be fighting hammer and tooth against Liam McDonald's side, who must be sort of wounded deeply from that performance away in Worcestershire on Saturday.
Yeah, it's a curious one, Stamford, isn't it? I mean, they've always been, since we've been in the same division of them, there or thereabouts towards the top of the season, to the top of the league. This season, it just all seems to have gone wrong for them, and it's a difficult one to work out how.
Well, they lost Duffy, didn't they? Their main goal scorer. I'm not sure what happened there, some legal reasons, but Duffy is longer with the side. He was quite an exponent up front. They went for Fletcher Toll, the Corby man, who hasn't hit it yet. Let's hope he doesn't start tonight, as I said earlier. But yes, you're right. They haven't clicked.
It's not a huge change to the squad, though. It's not like the Kettering squad, which is vastly different to last season.
Well, it is every season with Kettering, isn't it?
Yes, I know. But what I'm trying to say is, this Stamford team hasn't. You couldn't use that as an excuse as completely new players. So it's an interesting one. But I mean, it won't matter tonight because they'll be up for this game. It's as close to a derby game, I guess, as you can get without it actually being a derby.
Correct.
The two sides. There's not a lot of love lost there between the two.
No, they've all been firing encounters home and away. The draw at Latimer Park this season was in that category as well. A wonder goal from Powell, if I remember correctly. And then that late equaliser, 1-1. And it was almost felt like a loss. That 1-1, as they do when you concede one so late on. But
again, you've got to remember that Stamford had a midfielder in goal for the majority of that, didn't they?
They did too.
But,
they did too.
Here come the teams out onto the Zico Stadium pitch. The Poppies will be playing in their blue and white away strip. That's blue and white hoops across the front with a light blue back, light blue shorts, light blue socks. Jason Alexander this week wearing a green goalkeeping kit rather than the purple one, with Stamford in their all-red shirts, shorts and socks, and their goalkeeper wearing a sort of mint green strip out there as Darude Sandstorm blares out over the speakers. And
the lights aren't going though.
No, we had a bit of a light malfunction earlier, and we had some strobe lighting effects. That would have been better employed right now, but no such going across the pitches as well. Go the management teams. And a rather impeccably dressed gentleman there who I think might be the sponsor for today.
Of course, Ed, this is the another away game here at Stamford. The last 3 times we've been here, we've had a different manager. So, Liam MacDonald, of course, Lavs, and then Andy Leese, since Stamford were promoted to this division, walking alongside the crowd. Just giving a quick wave to Rhys Sharp, who's not playing tonight. And Rhys left Kettering last season. And we're getting ready here for kick-off. Your referee tonight is David Constable. Hello, hello. There's 2 more with him as well. And we're getting ready to get this Tuesday night game underway here at the Zico Stadium.
Not to jump on the referee straight away, as I would never do such a thing. But he brought them out quite late. I mean, we're 2 minutes past when we should have kicked off already. So I'm not sure what the hold-up was. But as the both sets of fans are currently housed in the terracing behind the right to us.
That bears well, doesn't it?
Yes, it's all good-natured for the moment, and let's hope it stays that way. The sponsor there is getting involved with the coin toss, although I don't think anyone's
got a two-headed coin.
Well, no one's got a coin, I think, which is the problem.
There's a two-headed coin, and it's called tails.
Well, there we are. That has happened, and we will see what's happening. We're going to stay kicking from left to right from a Kettering point of view, and we will see who has got kickoff. I think it's going to be Stamford who will get us underway. So we shall see this game start in just a moment's time. Back there are the Stamford players not going to the ball. It's Kettering who will be kicking us off, and Andy Thanodge is the man over the ball. So Kettering, as we said, kicking from left to right towards that terrace in the first half. Thanodge over the ball. The referee waiting to get us kicked off. Still not going, and away we go now. Thanodge gets us back to Forsyth, who hits long forward looking for York. York doesn't win that, but the ball bounces to Fifield, who forces a throw in early inside Stamford territory, which is left for Lewis Coyle to come forward and take. You'll also notice there's a few numeral changes as well. A few players have changed squad numbers in the team, which has just caused a little bit of confusion. That throw-in's gone nowhere, and then a really strong challenge from the Stamford player puts the ball out for a throw-in.
So throw-in on the far side for Kettering. It's referee telling Coyle to go back. He then goes back to where it was. He dispatched it towards Clifton, flicked on. It's down by the corner flag, but Kettering player goes down, and it's just cleared by Stamford to George Hobbins. Kettering at the ball back. It's fed through. A chance here. Offside goes the flag. Clifton marginally offside. And first decision of the officials of the evening. Listen to Poppers TV audio, sponsored by Elgood's Brewery. Once again, thank you to Marcus. I hope you're around at Christmas. That's Thomas Jackson, the keeper in this mint kit, as Ed described earlier, about to take this free kick. Sends it high and long on the far side. They've head tennis. Clifton can't get the ball. Stanley has. There's a foul on the far side. It's all over the far side at the moment, which is the furthest part from where we are. It's a bitterly cold night in Lincolnshire. Mind you, you'd expect it in November, really. Free kick then. Coyle takes a second attempt to take it. Was going to take it, decided not to. Has done now. Sent it towards Clifton. Clifton gets his head to it, but gives it away. It's pumped away. Alexander heads the ball out. He's right out of his penalty area. It's a up and under, and Alexander catches it. We've seen quite a few of those lobs recently, and that looked like it was going in, but Alexander swift enough to get back and collect the ball before he was embarrassed at that one. headed out by Harry Vince, the captain. York gets the ball out to Fifield, but Fifield loses it to Mazzarano. And had a very bad cruciate ligament injury last season, did Mazzarano, kept him out of Stamford's side. But he gets the ball, pumps it forward. Headed on by Tong. And Coyle gets the rebound, clears it. It rebounds off a Stamford player, goes out for a goal kick a long way to the Poppies. Alexander trots behind the goal. And as Ed said, it's if it rains here, you're going to get drenched. There's very little cover indeed. Stand like ours behind the goal on open air. So the majority of the rest of the ground, except the bit we're sat in, to bring you this broadcast. Alexander then with the goal kick. Oh, it's a poor one, and Forsyth alerted enough before the number 11 there, Thomas, was able to strike, but Stamford got the ball and cleared by Alexander that time. Almost like a toe punt, wasn't it? And
yeah, Alexander's hobbling and doesn't look massively comfortable at the back there. Right leg looks like there might be an issue for the Kettering keeper.
He stubbed himself, didn't he, when he went through? But Clifton's away here. Can he get through? And Clifton's brought down outside the penalty area there. And we'll see the first booking, I would think, of the evening. It is. And just outside the penalty area. And it's the number 2, I think, who's, or is it number 5, who brought Clifton down? Number 5 there is Jordan Cook, who scored the equaliser for Stamford at Latimer Park in the earlier part of the season. In that 100th minute, he's conceded it. He goes into the book. It's literally just about 2 foot outside the penalty area on the far side, just at the angle. And there's a chance to put keeper Jackson under pressure. Thanodge is over the ball. And it looks like he's going to be striking this one. The wall has been paced back 10 yards. It's inside the penalty area, obviously. So Thanodge preparing to blast this one in the top right-hand corner, hopefully. But we will see. There goes the whistle. Thanodge puts it in here. Just goes wide, actually. It was a good effort. And danger avoided for the Daniels. And after 6 minutes, first chance for either side. And it remains 0-0.
Yep, early opportunity to test the goalkeeper. Thanos would be disappointed he didn't at least hit the target and give Jackson something to do. Here is the goal kick, though. The number 1 for Stamford, Jackson. Kicks, doesn't beat the halfway line, and Clifton does win the header as well. Lofts it forward to Tajo, who doesn't get there, and Stamford come away with the ball. He hit long, Coyle underneath it, heads it away, out for a throw-in for Stamford on the halfway line. Thrown long, headed out of play by a Kettering player and out for a throw-in. That looks like it was Batimo. So another throw-in for the hosts, halfway inside the Kettering half. Short options being given and ignored. Still with the ball in his hands, the Stamford man. Mazzano, still with the ball in his hands. Throw-in taken eventually. Overhit. And Kettering will have a goal kick. All that waiting. And a really poor throw-in the end. 7 minutes gone, there or thereabouts. Both sides having a chance, although Stamford's was a half chance. Attempt to lob Alexander from the halfway line. And Thanodge hitting a free kick just wide. Here's Fifield with the ball at his feet. Turns around and finds Clifton down the left-hand side. He doesn't find Clifton. It's a poor pass, actually. And the clearance from Stamford comes off Fifield and out for a throw-in for the hosts again. That was an issue for Kettering on Saturday. The poor passing and just did not find its targets. That was another one. Throw-in's been taken. It is flicked on by Stamford, but there's no one in red there, although Forsyth is now being chased down. He hits long looking for Clifton. It's over him, headed away again by the home side. Fifield can't bring it under control, but neither can Stamford. And the ball is lofted forward and kept in play. And away by Coyle. Kept in play again by Stamford. All the play on the far side from us over towards the benches. That's given away to Coyle. Coyle then lofts down the middle looking for the run of York. York puts the goalkeeper under some pressure as it's passed backwards. Dealt with well by Jackson. Bounces once and twice. Now Coyle will hook away. He does. In fact, he hooks up. Not really away. And it's going to stay in bounds as well. Scrappy this at the minute over on that far side. Stamford finally get a foot on the ball. Left-footed, swings one into the penalty area from a long way out, but takes one bounce and straight into the hands of Alexander, who seems to be moving a little bit easier after that little slip that he had earlier. Given away, though, by him. Good work by Patimo and Fataggio. Gets the ball back, but Fataggio gives the ball away again to the near side to Bartle. Here's the 11, Jack Thomas. Back to Bartle on the left-hand side. Into his own half for Alexander Collard. Back to Bartle again on the left-hand side. Interplay between those three. Now it's with Thomas, who's come all the way deep into his own half. Tries a switch ball. Will be cut out by Coyle easily. His pass finds Fifield, who opens his legs and shows his class. Puts the ball into Clifton. Clifton to Fataggio. He can't bring the ball under control. And away it goes. Cut out by Rowe. Rowe to Patimo. Here's Forsyth. Back to Patimo. Forsyth again. Annoyed with Preston Patimo there. He told him where to play it and he didn't. Long ball looking for York. Will be headed away by the Stamford defence. A slip by the Stamford midfield gets it to Thanodge. Thanodge to Patimo. Patimo to Coyle. Coyle out on the left-hand side. Fifield hugging the touchline. Gets the underlap from Coyle. Will he keep it in time? He does. Puts it in. Ooh, heavy collision with the advertising boards. And it will be a corner for Kettering. Coyle gets straight up, thankfully.
Good movement there from Kettering, actually. Well worked. And a corner from it. Coyle's okay. A few dents in the advertising boards, but it's going to be a corner on the far side. And looked like it could be taken quickly, but it isn't. It's Thanodge with it. 11 minutes, it comes, it's a poor one and goes over everybody. It almost goes in. And it was whipped in. It bounced over everybody, took a wicked deflection and just went by the far post. So a half chance, really, if not from a particularly deep, not from a very good corner initially. But that would have been a bit freaky if that had gone in, but we'd have taken it. But it remains 0-0. 11 minutes. As it drops a few degrees here in Lincolnshire. Tuesday night in Lincolnshire is a theme at the moment. Bowled last week, Stamford this week. As Coyle gets on from that kick, but Norquette has the ball on the far side. Comes inside, Norquette threads the ball through to Hobbins. It's back to Mazzarano. And Thomas puts the ball out of play as the...
Still in play. As Alexander stopped it from doing so. Probably a clever plan, actually, given if he's feeling a little bit with his kicking leg. Although he's going to kick this out of his hands. Still a little bit gingerly there, isn't he? The goalkeeper. But he has overhit that one out for a throw-in on the far side for the hosts. 11.5 gone.
We can't do with injury to Alexander, as there's no other keeper fit at the moment. Or certainly White hasn't had any game time whatsoever since pre-season. And that cameo at, that game at Royston, as Kettering away with Fataggio, feeds the ball through to Clifton, but it didn't reach Cliff. It's cut out by Bartle. Goes back to Blaine Rowe. He finds Forsyth. Just inside Kettering's half on the near side to us. Bittermo, though, dispossessed easily by Thomas. And a good tackle there, though, by Thanodge. But Stamford try a snapshot that almost goes out the ground. That was from distance. Hit the, not netting, is it? It's
No, it is
fencing, netting, isn't
netting.
it?
Yeah,
you
that
see it in
side.
American football, don't you? Sort of the ball going in the crowds, a bit like that here at Stamford.
You've got netting to the left, and to the right you've got an Astro. So you've got the metal fencing there behind the goal.
Goal kick then to the Poppers in the 13th minute, 0-0. Alexander about to take this one. We'll see how he reacts to this goal kick. That falls down on that one. It's kept in play just. Stamford get the ball away, but well won. Flicked on for 5-footed chase. He won't get there. Headed on by Hobbins. Very scrappy at the moment. Neither side can really gain control. Bittermo gets the ball. It's a handball. It's in Kettering's favour, that is. Pretty taken by Fataggio. Referee wants it brought back. And never going to allow that, was he, really?
No, there's pinching yards and then there's pinching half a pitch.
I'm sure David Constable will paint a picture of that one. As Forsyth sends it long for Rowe. Then it's towards Fataggio. Beats one, beats two. In the penalty area, plays it out wide to Rowe, puts the ball in, and it's hoofed away at the near post before Coyle could get in. And it goes out for a corner. So Coyle going to take this corner, right-hand side. Again, the Kettering fans in the stand. Made the short journey from Kettering to Stamford. And a lot of movement in that 6-yard box on the line. Referee having to have a quick word. And he's having a word with Bittermo at the moment. Yeah,
Evens for a foul on the goalkeeper when this is put in?
Exactly, yeah. I mean, except when it's us, of course, like last season. But Coyle then with the corner, it's a poor corner, doesn't get past the first man. It does get to Thanodge, who gets it back to Coyle. Does exceptionally well, though, this time. Can he get the ball over? He does a little dummy there, puts the ball in towards the back post. It's shielded away. Comes in a shot, it hits a Kettering player, and lovely volley there by Forsyth, and then eventually caught by Jackson in his 6-yard box. But good movement again from Kettering, a good strike, and it's woken the fans up in the at the back. Kettering fans, quite a few here. Averages around 300 for Stamford at home this season. Fataggio gets the ball to Rowe. Rowe on this right-hand side, switches it on the far side towards Pfeiffer. Don't think it will reach him. It does reach him. It's a good ball. Pfeiffer nudged in the back, but keeps his composure. Goes one way, goes the other, still has the ball. Plays it forward, but on this occasion it's hoofed away by Stamford. It's found Vince. He goes down. Kettering retain the ball or get the ball back. And, there's a foul there. And Kettering looking to get away with that.
Well, Graham Drury's furious.
I'm not surprised.
And actually, I can't really blame him.
No, it was a late tackle. And
the only thing that saved the Kettering player there is that he won the ball first. But the follow-through was a little bit naughty.
Limping around a bit is...
not surprised.
Norket. That'll hurt a bit in this cool temperature. It's a free kick then to the Daniels. No, it's not. It's throwing. He doesn't give them the free kick. So cleared by Coyle, but it doesn't go very far. Fataggio won a header. That's a rarity in itself. And he gets the ball. He goes down this time. And away come Kettering with Fataggio. He's got Clifton and he's knocked off the ball, but the ball arrives at York. Finds Thanodge. Sends the ball away, but Pfeiffer won't catch that. Goes out of play. And that movement breaks down with Thanodge. 17 minutes, 0-0. Ed Palmer and myself, Paul Cook, bringing you this broadcast from Stamford, the Zico Stadium. Didn't Zico play for Brazil? Or was it Guernsey?
He did Rockingham Road once, didn't he, Zico?
He did, yeah. I think it was Gascoigne's first signing.
Right. Different Zico.
Yeah.
Well, chance here for Stamford to go forward. There's a Kettering player down, and I'm not really sure what the injury is. The referee doesn't think it's head, so plays on. And then Kettering get the ball and want to attack, and the referee brings it back.
Going back to Zico, I once had a ball signed by Chris Waddle, Paul Gascoigne, and Zico, and I put on eBay 3 World Cup players.
Yes.
Well, Zico,
Yes.
Gascoigne,
Yes.
and Waddle all played in the World Cup.
Yes. You put it on eBay.
Yeah, it didn't sell. But it was Ryan, as I say, and
Yeah.
yeah, plays for Guernsey, I think. It did then, didn't he? But not missing anything as.
No, it's going to be a drop ball. I think it's going to be. Well, it should be to Kettering. We were the team in possession when the referee stopped play. So it should be an uncontested drop ball, which it is. And Andy Thanodge is the man who's going to receive it. He
slices that.
Really slices that forward. Bittermo does well and then takes the ball off the foot of Rowe. And again, half sells Forsyth short. With flashbacks of Bromsgrove there. Forsyth deals with it this time. A lot of heading and lofting of the ball. Coyle heads the ball away, brought down in the middle by Stamford and up and away again by Kettering. Just a lot of players jumping about and not really winning headers at the minute. A switched ball by Stamford. Good ball, actually, from the number 3. And Stamford have a chance to come forward here. 1-2 is overhit. Cleared away, not very far by Fifield. And Stamford have a sustained period of attack in this first half, 18 minutes in. Ball lofted into the penalty area. Forsyth heads it up. Bittermo heads it away. And then a volley from the number 3 is blocked back to him. He's being forced wider and wider by Wes York. Ball comes in and is put behind for a corner for the host by Blaine Rowe.
Couple of scores for you while we can. Harborough 1, Redditch 0. Royston 1, AFC Sudbury 0. The rest are all 0-0 as we speak. Corner to the Daniels on this left-hand side. And going to put the defence under pressure. Alexander being in superb form for Kettering this season. Hasn't been taken yet. Comes in towards that back post. It comes off Alexander, cleared by Clifton, but it isn't out the air at all. Gets ahead to it. Fataggio gets ahead to it. And then York gets the ball to Forsyth, who clears it. It ricochets back to Mazzarano. Bounces heavy for Jordan Cook. He finds Bartle. Bartle gives the ball away to Rowe, but then he gives the ball away. And it runs all the way through to the keeper, Jackson. Comes out of his area, feeds the ball through to Collard. He finds Hobbins, and Stamford mount another attack going forward. Hobbins under pressure, though, has to play it back to Cook, or even Collard. Collard sends it long, finds Toll. But here is York intercepting, under pressure, got 3 round him, plays it out wide of Fataggio. He gets it back to Rowe, takes a heavy touch, but does well. Finds Thanodge. Thanodge switches it on the far side, but don't think Fifield will get there. He'll chase it down, but it is well shielded by Tong and has gone out for a Stamford throw-in 10 yards or so from the corner flag.
It's going to be a free kick, this, and I think it's going to be a booking for Kai Fifield. It is. The Stamford player was just shielding the ball out, and Fifield, he just pushed him into the advertising hoardings. He just doesn't need to do it. I mean, it's a yellow card from back here, let alone where the referee's standing 10 yards away from it. That's
poor.
It's not great.
That's the booking each then so far in 22 minutes. Throw in to Stamford. And the throw-in taker gets the ball back, does well. Back to the keeper, Jackson. He has to react quickly, does so with aplomb. It goes out of play, though, for a throw-in just inside the Stamford half on the far side where both dugouts are. And a throw-in to Kettering. So taken by Coyle. He sends it towards Fifield. It doesn't reach him. It's Fataggio can't win that one. Coyle gets the ball back to Thanodge. Does a little pirouette back to Coyle. And then he's fouled. And nothing given there. Thanodge gets the ball. Gives it away, though. And it's Collard. Sends it long. That is Toll. ex-Corby Town, who scored a lot of goals last season for the Steelmen. Hasn't done so far for Stamford. The ball back with Rowe, playing in the centre. Trying to send Rowe away, but he can't. And the miscontrol there by the number 7, Tong, gives Kettering a throw-in near the halfway line. Rowe with it. Gets it to Thanodge. Thanodge to Bittermo. Back to Rowe. Has to play it to Forsyth. He sends it long. A chase for Clifton and 2 others. The keeper comes out here. Can Clifton get in there? And out comes the keeper Jackson to snatch it off the feet of Clifton, who was gearing up to strike the ball past him. Good work there from the defence from Stamford. It remains 0-0. Jackson high into the night sky. That's going to go out of play on the far side, which it does. Cheers of the Kettering fans in the stand.
Down with snow on it, that one. It almost didn't come down.
It didn't, no. It
pummeled that into orbit. As the ball is going backwards and forwards between the two sides again in a rather scrappy manner. These are two sides that are definitely lacking a little bit in confidence, you can tell. It's not a lot of what you would call fancy football being played. It's all very agricultural. It's another throw in for the home side over the far side in front of their own dugout.
Just having a look who scored the Harbour goal. It was Kettering old boy Liam Dolman. How old is Dolman?
Still doing it at a good level, though.
Definitely is. Had one game for Kettering many years ago, as Stamford get the ball through to Tong, who flicks it out, but Coyle will shield that for a throw-in by the corner flag, which he does on the far side. It's not a game for the purists, this one, that's for sure.
No. As I said, two teams that are not used to playing attractive, expansive football, isn't it?
Yep.
Two teams that are just doing what they can to try and get the ball in the back of the net and not really thinking about a lot else.
I suppose in the position that they're both in, anything a win will do.
Totally. A win for either of these teams could be the start of a turn in fortunes.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how ugly it is. It's grinding this performance out. But at the moment, it's going to be a long throw-in to Stamford. Normally, Rhys Sharp will be doing these. He's sat in the stand near us. And it is a long throw-in. By the look of it, it's going to be a tremendous throw as it comes in on that far side. It's into the penalty area, headed out. It comes off a Kettering player for a corner. Couldn't control it. Came into the knee of Coyle and goes out. So more pressure here in the 26th minute for the men in the sky blue and white hoops. And they're waiting for the corner to be taken. Taking a bit of time with this. Just got the ball, strolling over there. It's going to be Jack Thomas who's going to...
Well, the last one caused some issues, didn't it?
It did. Kettering have been susceptible to corners in recent games. You see how they deal with this one. A lot of movement in that 6-yard box this time. Running, and it comes in here, flicked on, headed out by Coyle. A half volley was almost attempted. Bittermo is in there, trying to get the ball to go out for a goal kick, which it does. Well fielded. And it remains 0-0.
It's a player that needs a response today, isn't it, Bittermo?
Yeah, he was poor on Saturday. But I suppose he's allowed one. He's been excellent up until that point. That goal at Corn, absolutely outstanding. But it wasn't his day on Saturday. So, yes, you're right. He needs to put in the performance. Still only a young lad from Hereford on loan. So a lot to learn.
Yeah, it's probably unfair, really, to single a single player out from Saturday.
It is. It could have been anybody, couldn't it?
Could have
Bar
been.
Alexander probably and Robinson. Yeah. That Stamford get the ball back from the kick. They hoof it out wide, but there is Rowe. Flicked on to Bittermo. And there's a foul there. It's in the centre circle.
York and Fifield have switched sides. Although York is now going centrally and Fatajo's coming out. It's quite an interchangeable formation, this.
Well, yeah, I mean, on Saturday we had 3 different formations, didn't we? And the last one actually started to work, didn't it?
Fifield's now back out on the far side. Yes, it's all very switch-aroundy as Alexander puts one into the night sky. Easily headed away. But again, neither team are really putting their foot on the ball and keeping it. Here comes Stamford to try and do just that. And they loft it straight to the head of Forsyth. And that ball played backwards, puts a little bit of pressure on the back line. You go all the way back to Jackson in goal, who plays long, should be dealt with by Kettering. It is. Coyle watches it bounce well. Stamford get the ball again, and Coyle just puts that one up and out of play and into the embankment on the far side again.
Yeah, it's a case where they can't. Neither side can string any more than 2 or 3 passes together at the moment. It's the throw-in comes in. Some high, down by Thanodge, but Stamford get the ball back. It's going to be a Stamford throw-in on that far side, and not a lot of excitement at the moment. A couple of half chances, but nothing either goalkeepers had to do to prevent a goal. Going to be another long throw-in. Good to have in your armoury if you can perfect it. As we know from seasons gone by, in it comes, not so long this time. Headed out by Robinson. But Stamford get the ball back, put the ball in. You go anywhere? And that was a hook shot by Tong, and just wide. For a moment, we held our breath. And it goes by the far post. Alexander taps the ball to Forsyth. Kettering now with the ball. Forsyth sends it long, but it's going to go straight to a Stamford player. He puts that out for a throw-in. Collard put that out. No messing about from him. Rowe with the throw-in. Trying to find Clifton. Clifton can't win the header, but he must have won the header because they've given it Stamford's way. And into the 30th minute then. There's a lot of lack of atmosphere in the Zico at the moment.
It's flat, isn't it? It started off
singing
quite,
and chanting.
quite lively. But I mean, it's not been a great game of football really to get everyone excited about.
Collard, it's not Collard. The ball goes back. The goal has gone out, and it's a throw into Kettering, which Stamford don't like, but it is. Now, have we got a Blaine Rowe is the long throw expert for the Poppies.
He is. Not a lot of runway off the pitch here, is there? There's quite a short gap between the touchline and the barrier. He is pressed right up against it, though. In it comes, looped in towards Forsyth, headed up. And not really away, a bit of hesitation. And Kettering will keep the ball back out with Rowe. Rowe then lofts one high into the penalty area. Brought down at the back post by Fataggio really well. Can't get a shot away. Lofts another one back in. Forsyth is there, headed away. And Fifield puts it wide.
Well, Fifield there had a glorious chance to tap that one in. And steered it by the post. Best chance of the game. There's a Stamford player down on the penalty spot almost. Referee goes over to check it. Goalkeeper asking the sports therapist to come on, so there'll be a break in play. But that was a decent chance for Kettering, a half chance. As Liam MacDonald said in his interview on Saturday, Kettering have got to capitalise on taking those half chances. And that was one there, Ed, where he possibly could have done better.
You're probably looking into the realms of three-quarters chance, really. He's centre of the goal. I know it's come from a bit of a height and he's got to control it goalwards, but he's disappointed he didn't at least get something on target there. Oh, 50-50 draws happened. Oh, I didn't win. I didn't buy one. So
no, I was thinking the same thing. I haven't won either. Bishop Stopford 1, Neenah Market 0 is another latest score. Not a lot of goals around at the moment. Certainly none here. This reminds you, a rarity is happening on Saturday. We're at home.
Surely not.
Yes, a home match. In the last 10 games Kettering have had, they played 8 away from home. That's in all competitions, of course, not including the Northampton Senior Cup, which also played away. But yeah, 8 games away. And of course, I'm now going to throw another statistic in. The last time we scored a goal at Latin Park was September the 20th.
2 months ago.
Exactly.
But it is, as you rightly pointed out, quite misleading.
It is. I mean, those two home games were 0-0 against St Ives and a 1-0 defeat by Needham Market, but all the rest are away from home. And strange how the fixtures pan out like that. The cup games interfere tremendously, don't they?
A couple of cup games interfere, and of course that Spalding one would have been at home.
Yeah.
Had we not have switched it round for their pitch works earlier in the season. You're missing nothing, by the way. The Stamford player is still down in his own penalty area. So, but yeah, that was a bit of a frustration, I guess, wasn't it? That actually came back to bite us a little bit. That Stamford, the Spalding game being rearranged.
Yeah, indeed. But when you consider we were 2-0 up against Spalding at home and dragged that back to the jaws of defeat to victory, from victory to defeat. I've been optimistic there. But in the second game, completely outclassed by Spalding. And it just seems to be two teams running away with it at the moment. Harborough, who are winning yet again, yet to lose in the league this season. In fact, they've only lost once, I think, all seasons against Altrincham. And twice. Corby they lost to, didn't they? But they're winning 1-0 against Redditch at the moment. Back underway here with Thomas Jackson, the keeper, sends it out wide, goes over everybody and goes out for a Kettering throw-in. Coyle sends it long, flicked on by Stamford, and that does go out of play for a throw-in just inside the Daniels half. Coyle wants to take it quickly, but no movement for him, so has to wait. The referee tells him to get on with it. Byfield falls over, and then the ball hits him and hits onto a Stamford player, goes out for a Kettering throw. Referee wants the Kettering player to go back, which is Coyle, going back 3 yards. No doubt he'll pitch those when he delivers the ball. No, he hasn't. Gets the ball to Fataggio, but he can't control it. It's back with Coyle. And is a throw in again to Kettering. Coyle takes it. Finds York to Coyle. He finds Fataggio, get a ball through to Clifton. Doesn't arrive there. Good defending by Stamford. It's in the Kettering half. Forsyth mops up, sends it long towards Clifton. Collard is there though, but there's Fataggio. He's got 3 around him. He's fouled and goes down. And
yeah, there were 2 players.
2 on him, weren't there? Yeah, 2 players fouled him. It was a stereo foul. I think he's okay. He's still on his knees.
It's almost like an American football quarterback there as 2 defensive players emerge from either side and went straight into him. He's still on his haunches.
Hobbles up.
Oh, he's still not looking massively comfortable. It's that right leg, isn't it? Hobbling away.
Taking a bit of a battering this season was old Fataggio, hasn't he? With his broken arm, and then he's been hauled down a few times. He's still hobbling around at the moment, trying to run it off. But it is going to be Fanodge to take this free kick. He does so. It's out quite easily. Fataggio gets the ball, but he plays it onto the number 4, Hobbins, who comes away with the ball, sends it long. That's put out of play by Coyle on the far side. Amounted to nothing, the free kick. In fact, Kettering under pressure from it in the end. Yeah,
maybe 100% Fataggio actually probably gets on the end of that deflection and tries to put something into the penalty area, but he hadn't. And here comes Stamford down the far side. Timo has nicked the ball away, but given it away again. Lofted back forward into the penalty area for Stamford. Away it goes from Kettering, but not far enough. To the right-hand side, chance for Stamford to put one in. They do, head it up, but not really away by Rowe. Coyle again puts it up, not massively away. Finally cleared. But Stamford come back again down the right-hand side. Another bit of pressure for the home side. Sloppy from Stamford, and away Coyle gets it. Clifton is felled, but not fouled, says the referee, and Stamford loft the ball towards the back line again. Lots of holding. Flicked on, away by Forsyth. Again, these clearances aren't really going away. They're just going up into the air and coming back down. Eventually, Theo Robinson hoofs that towards the halfway line, but it's going to come straight back at Kettering again. Here's the number 4, turns nicely on the spot, away from Bittermo. With Bartle, the 3. He goes into his own half now for Collard. Collard across the line to Harry Vince. Apologies, that was Jordan Cook. Jordan Cook clears long, away by Coyle, only as far as Mazzano. Mazzano in front of his own dugout, facing his own goal, plays it in the middle very nicely for Collard to step onto and play left for Bartle. Bartle down the line into the middle, heavy touch from the Stamford man, and away comes Ishmael Fatajo, who seems to have recovered from that knock as he runs laterally and passes it off to Fifield. Fifield now needs to find the ball forward. He doesn't. He holds on to it and probably should have slipped Wes York through. Fifield still with the ball. Lofts one in for Clifton. Clifton finds himself in front of goal. Doesn't get any contact on it, and it bounces into the hands of the goalkeeper.
Lovely work from Fifield there, getting that ball to Clifton. As Ed said, the bounce just took it away from Clifton. Any touch on it, that would have been the opening goal, but it's still 0-0 as Coyle has to deal with the goal kick, trying to let it go out of play, which he does. A couple of scores for you here. Alvechurch 1, Worcester 0. And Corner taking the lead at Bromsgrove Sporting, with the old youngster Billy Key notching in a goal for the Methodists. All the rest, as they were last time, it's going to be a goal kick with Alexander. And very, very quiet here. There's a couple of shouts and that. It's not very atmospheric.
Yeah, the game's done a very good job of quieting the crowd down, hasn't it?
It has, as Stamford get the ball back into Kettering half quite quickly. Ball is with the number 8 there, Vince. The captain sprays it out wide for Bartle. Bartle left-footed, plays it out wide. If he keeps this in, the number 7, Tong, he does. Sanchez Tong, he's got Rowe in front of him. He's now in the penalty area. Goes one way, goes the other. Ball's down. That could have been tricky. Kettering get the ball away, but it rebounds off for Tajo. And it's back with the keeper, Jackson, who comes well out of his area to dispatch that into Kettering's half. Coyle, a heavy touch there, but he does well to recover. Sends it on to York, a little flick on from him, but that flicks too much. Collard dispatches that back to York. And York sprinting away down that byline. There's a little jiggle. Comes through, still York. Might try one, feds the ball through to Clifton. Clifton taken off his foot and put out for a corner. I thought he was going to score there, but good defending again from Stamford. And it is a corner to Kettering in the 40th minute here at the Zico Stadium. As the Albanian Prince goes over. Oh, it doesn't. It is Coyle who's going to take this one. In it comes near post, headed out and cleared by Stamford. Now there's a chase here for Tajo, but gives the ball away to Hobbins on this left-hand side. Coyle just comes over and throws him to the floor, and the referee doesn't book him, but it is a free kick to Stamford, halfway in Kettering's half on this near side, the stand where we're at. And it's going to be Connor Bartle to take this. Set pieces have been a bit of a problem for Kettering recently, and Stamford have had their best chances from set pieces in this game so far, such as they have been. Comes in, it's not sure what that was, but that was 3 points.
I think you're being generous there. I'm not sure it went through the posts.
Shocking, absolutely shocking, wasn't it?
It's me.
Yeah,
I don't know what that was.
Oh no, I don't. He dressed the ball and it just went
like he couldn't be bothered. He just kicked it out of play.
Yeah. Anyway, Kettering with the ball on the far side, but they've given that out straight away. So
it was like he just kicked it out of play.
He did. Well, not a lot to write home about, to be honest. I'm glad I'm not writing for the non-league paper. I used to do that years ago. I couldn't find 100 words at the moment, I don't think, for half-time, but it is 0-0. And Fletcher Toll over there loses the ball, and away comes for Tajo now. He's threads the ball through, but Fifield won't get there. Collard has to deal with this. He does well. Actually, it's not Collard. It's Vince, the captain. Intercepted by Coyle, but it goes straight to a Stamford player, and that is the number 7, Sanchez Tong. Gives the ball away for Tajo. And trying to find York. York, though, didn't move because he had been offside. So that period of play breaks down. Headed on by Robinson. Back to Bittermo. Bittermo out. Well, gives the ball away straight away to Collard. And Alexander not happy with that. Could hear him barking from here. Intercepted by Coyle.
Should we repeat what
No,
Alexander
we
said?
won't say anything what Alexander said. And ball, nothing given. But still barking his orders out at the moment. If only you could hear what we're hearing. Marvellous, isn't it? Cleared by Bartle. Stays in play. Rowe does well. He allows that to bounce out of play.
Not I think Alexander's very happy. I mean, he's right to be because it's sloppy.
Well, it is.
Yeah, because there's no.
You saw that incident last night, Everton Man United, you know, where they went berserk there.
Fans down that end of the ground, you can hear everything he's saying, and he's not being shy in his criticisms.
He's not. Bittermo gets the ball there, gives it straight away to Bartle. And Collard gets a spinner. Fifield can't get his hands on it, but away goes Jack Thomas on the far side. Leaves it for Hobbins. Back to Hobbins. Into Vince. Gives the ball away, though, and it is for Scythe coming forward. Doesn't know what to do. Turns back. Gets it back to Thanodge. Thanodge has to play the ball out to Coyle. Back to Thanodge, who then slips and leaves the ball away. Bittermo retrieves it. For Scythe. Out wide towards York. Goes over him, though. Bittermo does well, but gets the ball to Thanodge. Coyle to York. York in the centre. Plays it to Forsyth. Now it's Rowe. He's got Fataggio with him, who he uses. Fataggio goes one way. Going into the centre. Can't strike this one. Thought about a pirouette. Can't do that either. Still with the ball. Feeds it through this time to York. Ball comes in. A chance here. Oh, should have been 1-0. York's shot was deflected.
Coyle on the left-hand side, actually.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? Got the ball over. And that should have been 1-0. Well, then, again, another good block from this Daniel defence. Goes out for a corner. And another chance. Another half chance, but a good one this time. The score is still 0-0 as we're into the 45th minute. The board has gone up anyway for 2 minutes of time added on. So a good time to score. Mind you, any time's a good time to score, but not with corners like that. And Bittermo under pressure. It's being flicked on. He wins the ball back in the centre. Gets it to Fifield. Fifield coming forward. Beats one, beats two. Fifield going through. Still Fifield. Can he strike a shot? He's been pushed out wide. And he's going out even wider now. He's got two around him all the time. But he still has the ball. Puts the ball over. It's straight to the keeper, though. Jackson does well. And I'll almost see us out for this first half. One of a few half chances for either side. As I say, not a game for the purists. Two teams who you can see are struggling as Jackson just humps that one out of the ground. And he's not happy with his kick, nor his teammates, nor the Stamford fans, but it remains 0-0. Little flick on by Clifton, but it's back into the night sky, headed down by Thanodge. There's a foul on Toll by Kettering. Play will be a free kick. And it's near the centre circle, so it's well out of range, he says. Can't say anything in this game, can you? Because you never know these days what's going to happen. But it is a free kick to Stamford. Deep into time added on, those 2 minutes. And in comes the ball. It's headed on as a chance here into the side netting. And that was a half chance again for Stamford. Kettering players let the ball go by. It was a strike. And into that side netting by the number 5 there, Jordan Cook. And we're about there. That's 47 minutes. So there goes the referee's whistle, right on time. and boos from some of the crowd, but it is Stamford 0, Kettering Town 0. And we will see you in the second half and hopefully see a little bit more action in that second half in Kettering's favour. But from the Seco Stadium with Ed and myself, it is a 0-0. We'll see you later. Well, welcome back to a chilly Zico Stadium as the poppies just come out for the start of this second half. And all the subs have been warming up, as you'd expect, at half time. Stamford haven't come out there yet, so pretty uneventful first half, really. Couple of half chances for either side. Probably Kettering should have taken the lead, but good blocks from the Daniels defence denying Liam McDonald's side. But as Ed said in commentary the first half, you can tell both sides are lacking in confidence and results. Kettering 4 points from the last 5 league games, and Stamford 3 points from the last 5 games shows that both sides are struggling with their form. And of course, Stamford yet to win here at the Zico Stadium this season. And let's hope that doesn't start tonight. Stamford come out. They'll be kicking from left to right. And the Kettering fans now in the open end of the ground. And getting ready to kick off. Your referee once again is David Constable. Tannoy breaks into a jig. Ed's doing a little rumble.
They've been clearly trying to warm people up because all of the music has been very sort of summer based, hasn't it? We've had Holiday and Boys of Summer and The Heat is On.
Heat is on, yeah.
It
isn't. Calvin Harris hasn't been on yet.
Yeah. The Heat most certainly isn't on, by the way.
It isn't. It is freezing. Well, not freezing, but it's bitter. I think if there was a biting wind, it would be pretty cool.
Unbearable. Yeah.
Reminiscent of Merthyr, we were reminiscing about 10 years ago, weren't we?
It was, yes. 10 years ago almost to the day.
The coldest day in football.
I notice our wonderful directors have got warm drinks, and no offer was made to the workers as usual.
Well, it never is it? It's just a case of get on with it. But no, the heat isn't on the pitch at the moment. It's pretty lukewarm, cool out there. And Stamford are making a change. Michael Frew is coming on for Nane Nouquet. So first change to the visitors. Kettering is as was first half. So Stamford to get us back underway. And George Hobbins over the ball. There goes the whistle. It's lumped forward in traditional non-league style. Stamford still with the ball on that far side. Most of the game's been played on the far side, to be fair. And that's going to be put out of play by Kettering, which it is. It's a throw-in to the Daniels down by the corner flag. And going to be a long throw-in coming in. Saw a few of those in the first half. Caused a bit of a problem for the defenders, but in it comes now. Headed out by Forsyth. It's going to be put back in again, though. This time it hits Bittermo, but it's back in there through the number 4, Hobbins. It's been forced out, and Kettering can't get the ball away. Another throw into Stamford on the far side again. Fans changing ends. Another long throw-in coming in. And so we're waiting for this to come in. It'll be another long throw-in. Headed out. Forsyth gets the ball out, but it only goes through to Thomas, and Stamford still with the ball. Well won there by Collard. It's out wide, comes in low. Fizzed across and behind the goal mouth. But Kettering couldn't get the hands on the ball, if that makes sense. And it would be a goal kick.
Yes, a bright start from the hosts. But nothing coming of it. Still 0-0.
Robinson powers it away towards Clifton. A little head on there towards Fifield, but he can't win that ball. Stamford get the ball back with Vince. Nutmegs Fifield. Vince gets the return, sends it long to the number 7 who's offside. It comes through. There's going to be a goal here. Oh, it goes wide. That was a definite chance, a collision there with Rowe. It was hooked over. Alexander was beaten. It was a foot wide, a foot the other way, 1-0. Another scare. Alexander urging the Kettering players to up, but 2 early scares in the first 2 minutes of this second half, both to Stamford. And Alexander with the goal kick sends it into the middle towards York. He can't win that header. Stamford get the ball again. It's Bittermo out wide though. Coyle gets a foot to it. Doesn't find York. Collard gets the ball, spoons it out of play for a Poppy's throw-in. Coyle coming over to take it. Halfway into the Kettering half. Try to find Clifton. Clifton chests it down to York. York threads the ball through, but it hits the thigh of Collard. He mashes the ball away. It's won by Forsyth, cleared by Coyle, but Collard with a head on. Bittermo underneath it, gets it to York. York loses the ball to Vince. He finds a substitute through, but he loses it straight away. Fifield, then he loses the ball. This is very scrappy indeed. Through, little pirouette, gets the ball out wide to Tong. Through the legs of Coyle, a little flick through here. A chance here for Tong. Tong bearing down. Tong's going to come through here. Tong shoots 1-0. 1-0 all the way through. Knife through butter. And Stamford score a rare goal at home and take the lead 3 minutes into the second half. Got to say, in those 3 minutes, it's been all Stamford. They should have been a goal up earlier, but Tong there getting the goal. His 4th of the season. Kettering a goal down.
That was a little bit easy for Tong, wasn't it? He picked up the ball, ran at the defence, and kept running at the defence. And it was a nice finish from him, it has to be said. Beating Alexander, slotting it below him. But
surely you make a tackle, you bring him down, even if it's a penalty.
This is the point I'm making here, is that he just kept running at the defence and no one seemed to do anything about it.
They said knife through butter. You know, Alexander stood no chance with that. And they just stopped and watched, and Kettering have paid the penalty. And again, a goal down. And third game on the trot without scoring a goal.
I don't want to put a much worse spin on it, but we're currently 1-0 down to a team that are yet to win at home and have won 1 game all season.
That is correct. Lovely statistic that is, isn't it? As
Just a bit of housekeeping, as it was João Varela who came on rather than Michael Frew. As Kettering have got a free kick just inside their own half. Oh, it's been given away from a Kettering free kick. And here comes Fletcher Toll. Oh, dearie me, he's put it wide. What on earth happened? We'd all looked the other way because Kettering had a free kick in their own half. And as soon as we looked up, Fletcher Toll was bearing down on goal and put the ball wide.
Well, thank goodness Fletcher Toll isn't on form, because it was a gilt-edged chance to go 2-0 up. Again, just a minute or so after that opening goal. Stamford must be kicking themselves with that. And Toll in particular, who had that outstanding season at Corby last season, can't find his feet. And Kettering were very, very lucky indeed.
Well, you said it there. If Stamford were the Stamford of old and they were up towards the top of the table, this game's probably 2 or 3-0.
Exactly, as Alexander sends it long towards Clifton. He can't win that. Nork and York. It ricochets to York, who plays it out wide to Fifield. Fifield turns. Fifield bearing. He's got 2 round. He comes inside, does well. Fifield bearing down. Can he shoot? It's being pushed wide. Does shoot. It's blocked towards Clifton. Clifton turns. Still turns. Plays it out wide to Vataggio. Threads the ball through, but the number 7 there, the goal scorer, does well. And it goes out for a goal kick. And, well, it was always coming in those 3 or 4 minutes after half time. And to say that 1-0, it could have been 2 pretty easily. And it will be a goal kick. Thomas Jackson with it. And
every week, yet again, there's trouble in the stand. I'm going to keep pointing it out till it stops happening. To our right, no idea what it's between, but there's another Kettering game, and there's more trouble happening in the terraces. I mean, we don't know. It's probably a Kettering fan by the looks of it, given that the Stamford fans are enjoying their ejection from the stadium.
Back to the
game.
There
were a few physical pushing and shoving, and nearly came to fisticuffs again.
Kettering get the ball through to Clifton. He heads it back, though, and Fifield loses the ball to Hobbins. Away goes Fataggio. Weaves his way through, slips, though, at the vital time, but regains the ball. Fifield has it with him. It's hoofed away only towards Thanodge. Thanodge out wide to Coyle, but a terrible boil from Coyle gives York no chance. And then another poor ball finds Robinson. Robinson into Bittermo. He is under a bit of pressure here. He's got, again, 2 round. It's out for a Kettering throw-in. And no changes from Liam MacDonald yet. As Coyle sends it towards Clifton. He finds York. York threads it through to Fifield. Fifield sprays it wide. Rowe gets it out wide there, and Fataggio knocked off the ball, and that will be a Stamford throw as it came off Fataggio at the last moment.
It's always good fun when you see some stewards sprinting the length of the pitch to get involved in something at the other end of the ground. There's a bottle came flying from behind us onto the pitch.
It's still on the pitch, isn't it?
It is.
You know. Throwing on the far side.
Saturday, I'm sorry. I'm just going to get. There's a common denominator here, isn't there?
There is a common denominator.
It doesn't happen. I don't see these stories coming out of most of the other clubs in the Southern League.
It's a throw-in on the far side. It's another steward comes by. Mazzarani gets the throw in. Kettering can't regain it, though. It's Hobbins with the ball. Out comes Alexander, right on the edge of his penalty area. Collects it at the angle. Sends it along towards York. York can't win the header. No height in Kettering up front. As Varela gets the ball out wide to Hobbins. Hobbins is going to feed the ball through. He's coming inside. Doesn't use Varela. Plays it out there towards Toll. Toll's going to chest it down, and in doing so, he's offside. And Kettering get away with it. 55 minutes gone here. Stamford 1, Kettering 0. Not often you've said that at Zico Stadium this season. Well, I've not said it at all, but...
well, I don't think they'll have ever said Stamford 1, Kettering 0 at the Zico Stadium this season, given it's the first time we've played here.
Trying to think... let's have a look and see. Last time they scored here was October the 18th. And... that's not true. Real Bedford, a penalty. But anyway, it's on the far side. Clifton can't win the header. Thanodge falls down. The ball is away with Hobbins on the far side. He's brought down. That's a foul. And Fataggio, again, the culprit. Lucky not to go into the book. But it is a free kick. A lot of movement around with stewards and fans at the moment. That's a free kick then on the far side. And very quiet here. Kettering fans silent. Probably can't believe what they're watching, to be fair. Stamford bottle has been retrieved from the pitch. Offside from the free kick.
Poor that from Stamford. That's lazy from the attacker. For a free kick position, you know where your back line are. They'll be disappointed with that. Stamford, Kettering will be happy, although they've been taken short the free kick. Forsyth then hits long, looking for Clifton. Clifton is there's a Kettering fan giving some constructive criticism from our left, along the lines of stop hitting it long. I won't repeat the rest of it, but it's very close to Alexander's outburst earlier on. Here come Kettering. Good slide challenge from Stamford, and the ball is cleared away. Forsyth brings it under control. Goes backwards to Coyle, who has to retreat further and plays it to Alexander, who now has time to put the ball out of his feet. Hits long, looking for York. York brings it down on his feet and then is thrown to the floor by Jordan Cook.
Of course, we're coming to that time of the year, aren't we? The birth of Brian.
Free kick for the Poppies then. 15 yards or so inside the Stamford line. In fact, it's actually a bit further in than that.
Well, the Albanian Prince is going to take this. Let's see if he can conjure something up. He doesn't. He gets it to Coyle, then he gets the return back to Coyle. A bit of 1-2 as Coyle trying to jiggle his way through, plays it out wide, gives Fifield a chance, and Fifield now is sprinting away down by the byline, puts the ball over back post, but poor cross from Fifield goes over the goal and into the Kettering fans. And surely around now we should be having a change on 60 minutes for the Poppies, because this formation and lineup isn't working. The goal behind to the bottom team as Thomas Jackson. Maybe it's Kettering's turn to score in the 98th minute or 100th minute. But, I don't know if my nerves could take that. Jackson then with the goal kick. Thanage underneath it. It's won this time though by Fataggio, with the ball's given away. It's sent long as Alexander comes out. Allows the ball to run through. Don't let it go in the net. He turns and bowls the ball out on the far side. A good ball there. And Rowe sends it long, a chase for Fataggio. He can't control that though, unfortunately. Stamford clear it. It's again another agricultural clearance into the night sky and out the ground. Throw in with Rowe. Sends it towards Clifford, it goes over him. There is Fifield, who's, it's York. Battling away by the corner flag. And Kettering get a throw in from that. So it's well done.
Yeah, throw in by the corner flag. Blaine Rowe already down there, so picks the ball up. Again, wondering whether we could start maybe arcing these runs towards the touchline to get a little bit more run up on it and purchase, because there's not a lot. He's really leaning across that board, and he does get it flicked on by Forsyth. That was more fortuitous though than by design. Here's Bittimo. Bittimo takes a touch forward on into the Stamford half. Lofts one forward, but Fifield and Fataggio watch it go past them and out for a goal kick. The Kettering fans unhappy that the goalkeeper Jackson is taking his time retrieving the ball, and the referee David Constable agrees and is going to have a quiet word in his ear before any more formal action is taken. There it is. No changes, as you said. We've hit the hour mark now, half an hour of this game to go. No changes for the Poppies, with the one for Stamford. That was Norkett off for João Varela. The Poppies with Kai Williams, Harrison Awunzi, Eddie Oppong, Alfie Lewis and Callum Powell on the bench. A very attacking looking bench. So certainly if the Poppies are still chasing goals, there should be goals within that particular lineup. The ball is retrieved from just in front of us by a gentleman who looks suspiciously like the Irish comedian Tommy Tiernan.
The way we've been playing, he probably gets some material.
Well, this will certainly be used in this next show. Anyway, oh, that's not a great clearance from Stamford as it goes backwards, and Fataggio brings it under control and tries to come forward. Good covering by the back line of Stamford, and a few coarse glances towards their captain, Harry Vince. More sort of asking, how have you managed to do that one? Poppies have got the ball in their own half inside the centre circle. It's with Theo Robinson, now Lewis Coyle. Lewis Coyle to Fifield on this near touch line, cutting inside, looking for options. He has Bittimo if he wants to use him. In fact, he goes through and puts it into Well, it went into Clifton. He was felled, and the ball goes through to to Thomas Jackson. Not much in that one for me, really. Clifton's still having a word with the referee, but
he fell down, didn't he?
Yeah.
Trying to win it, really, more
just
than
wasn't
anything
strong
else.
enough.
No. Jackson then gets the game back underway into the night sky. It goes over everybody, and Stamford get the ball away. There's a chance here for Tong. He's going down the corner flag on the right-hand side, being chased by Forsyth. Forsyth as well gets the ball away, but in doing so, out for a throw-in.
Do you want to play in the slips for England?
Yeah, good catch, wasn't it, from the guy
Good
there?
hands.
Yeah. Don't talk about the cricket. I'm depressed enough as it is.
I was going to say stand in the slips, bowl to the slips. That wouldn't have made a difference.
Throw been taken quickly there by Mazaronic. Comes in, a little foot there. A chance here for the number 11 to put the ball in and seal this up here. He puts it in. Offside. That's so unlucky for Stamford, but it was offside. Another chance there on 63 minutes. And it looks like Kettering might be making a change soon. But Alexander sends it long towards Fife. It goes over him, but he gets ahead to it to York. York gives the ball away to Fifield. There's Clifton, wins the header, but gives it straight to Hobbins. Thanodge gets another bit of head tennis to it. Clifton goes over him and gets the ball again. Varela on the halfway line. Reads it, feeds it through. It's been played back into Kettering's half. Finds Thomas. Thomas out wide to Mazzarano. He sends it long and sent it by Coyle, but back to the number 11. There is Tong again. Gets the head. He beats Coyle quite easily. Here's a chance. He comes inside. He comes along there and he touches here. It's a goal. And it just goes wide. A good effort again from Stamford, who are taking what chances they can create and almost scoring another goal. And we are going to see a change. It's going to be Harrison Iwunzi coming on. And Clifton can't keep this in. It's a throw-in down by the corner flag on the opposite side. And is this change going to happen now? I'm not sure. The disco board is being prepared. Throw-in about to take place before the substitution. Thrown back to the keeper. He sprays it out wide, but Coyle heads the ball back in, but straight to a Stamford player. Bittimo can't get his foot on it, and a good movement there from Stamford. A foul on Fletcher Toll. He goes down. Another Stamford player is down on the far side as well as Kettering make the substitution. And it's Clifton who's coming off for the Poppies. Been quite ineffective, really. Substitutions for Kettering Town. Going off number 9, James Clifton, and he's been replaced by number 14, Harrison Iwunzi. Also going on is number 50. Number 19, Fifield, and he's been replaced by number 15, Edmond Abon. And Fifield also going off there. Third substitution, going off number 7, Wesley York, and he's been replaced by number 11, Kyle Williams. So Kettering making 3 changes there. Clifton coming off for Iwanzi, Fifield coming off for Opong, and Kai Williams coming on for Wes York. As I say, Stamford player is down at the moment, receiving treatment. And you just joined us. Not good news here from the Zico Stadium. Stamford 1 up. Scored early in the second half. Should be probably 2 up, to be fair. They've had the chances. Combination of blocking, missed opportunities, denying the Daniels. I suppose all their fans are on prayer mats, hoping to gain their first home victory of the season. And once again, the Stamford hoodoo seems to work on the Kettering. They've got the Indian sign on us at the moment, and hopefully these substitutions will inject a different approach to the Kettering side. Of course, on Saturday, we're at home against Stourbridge. Liam MacDonald's former club as manager. That'll be an interesting game, especially if this game ends in defeat. There's still plenty of time, though, to resurrect this game. That player is now getting up. So it's pretty cool out there, and everyone's just milling around. Very, very quiet, other than the Stamford fans singing in the covered end behind Alexander's goal. Stamford now are making a substitution themselves. But Fletcher Toll is coming off for John Chandler.
Substitution for Stamford, going off number 9, Fletcher Toll. And he's going to replace for number 14, John Chandler.
Well, John Chandler, ex-Poppy, of course. Last player to score at Rockingham Road in a recognised game. And that scored against Kettering for Stamford before.
Yeah, Fletcher Toll was helped off the pitch there, actually, by a fellow Stamford player. That doesn't look good for Toll, but on comes Challoner, as just wondering whether we're about to start getting attacked by some pigeons in a second. Free kick taken and easily claimed by Alexander. Kicks long, and it'll be easily put back forward by Stamford. Here's Williams, though. Slips on the pitch, but manages to stab the ball through to Fataggio. Good slide tackle there. Forsyth knocks that one back to Alexander. Back to Forsyth. It's going to go long here, isn't he? There it goes. Fataggio flicks it on, looking for Williams at the back post. He will get there, Williams. Puts the ball in. Chance! Sliding away from Stamford and cleared before it can go out only as far as Bitmo. Bitmo gets it for Fataggio! Straight into the hands of the goalkeeper.
Well, first chance of the second half for Kettering, straight at the goalkeeper, though. And anywhere other side of him was 1-1, but better from Kettering. And they need to repeat that tenfold as the ball is headed back for Forsyth to Oppong. Oppong now bearing down, beats one, beats two. Still Eddie Oppong, and he's fouled. And just outside the centre circle, 3 or 4 yards. 2 yards, taken quickly over to Forsyth. Out wide. Forsyth continued his run, but it's played back. A little turn there, and trouble for Thanodge, who does well. Now with Robinson. Robinson gives the ball away quite quickly, though. Oppong on the far side. Can't get the ball. It's very, very scrappy and agricultural. That goes out of play from Kettering. It's Forsyth that hooked the ball into the air and it goes out. So Kettering missing Glennon, missing Stanley. And 2 players who probably would be in the side if fit.
It's not exactly a second string side the Poppies have got out, though, is it?
It's the only side they got out, isn't it? But
Well,
yes,
no,
you're right.
but,
Yeah.
you know, it's not like, you know, these are players that probably wouldn't start games anyway.
True. But, you've got to ask yourself the question, though, Ed, really, is how do Kettering go forward? Because the games we've witnessed in the last 3 or 4 games, of other than that Quorn game, have been pretty mediocre. I mean, this is fitting into that category quite easily. A side who've not won at home all season, only 3 points in the last 5, 1-0 up. And some of the...
Should be 2 or 3.
Should be 2 or 3 up against a side, really, that beginning of the season was on fire. But it's still time, though, for Kettering to get back into this. And they have it thrown down the far side.
Good work.
Was good work. And can they capitalise on this? And Iwunzi in there now, the loanee from Notts County. He's scored 16 goals for Notts County's B team. Can he transform that into Kettering's team? It's going to be a long throw-in. Rowe puts the ball in. It's flicked off. It's chested back to Pataggio. Gets the ball over. Can he get the ball over? Comes in. It's squeezed away for a corner. Blocked again. Good work from Pataggio down by the byline. Corner for the Poppies. 73 minutes on the clock. Need a good delivery into that penalty area. They're not going to go for the short one, thankfully, because they never work. Up goes the arm. Flick near post. It's back to the corner taker. Vanoj puts it in again. It's a little flick through and a poor effort. And goalkeeper falls on it, his near post. And there's no bite. There's no finishing. Kettering's finishing. Final phase of the movement, letting them down at the moment, as Challoner can't win that one. Pataggio can from the goal kick. And then it's out of play. Pataggio falls down, gets up quickly to take the throw in, has to go back a few yards. Leaves it for Coyle. The goalkeeper now is down. This is shades of Corn, goalkeeper going down. So he goes down. On comes the sports therapist. Another break in play. Any impetus that Kettering had from that attempt by Pataggio being waned out by this?
Yeah. Not, of course, that I'm suggesting anything other, but it's a very good time for the goalkeeper to go down to stop this sort of mini push of momentum that the Poppies have got at the moment.
Few scores for you. Alfchurch 2, Worcester 0. Bishop Stortford 1, Needham 1. Bromsgrove 0, Quorn 4. Harborough 2, Redditch 0. Real Bedford 2, Banbury 1. Royston 2, Sudbury 2. Spalding 1, Bury 1. And Stratford Town 1, Halesowen 0. Stratford Hale has been abandoned. No idea why, apparently. So I've just had a message come in. So not happened there. Player is still down. Quorn 4-0 up at Bromsgrove. And
just an update on that. It looks like there's been a medical emergency at Halesowen Stratford. And the game has, as such, been abandoned there. Let's hope that everyone is doing well and pulls through. But of course, our focus returns here to a game that, frankly, is just starting to move away from Kettering Town. And there's all sorts of things going off around the ground. I am seeing stewards running marathons here because stuff is yet again. I mean, these two stewards here, God love them. They have been sprinting around this ground, quite frankly, so many times. Anyway, football. The ball is given away by Kettering, and it will be a throw-in for Stamford. More argy-bargy happening down the right of us.
I can't think of an away game except Quorn, where there's not been any trouble.
The one where Kettering were winning.
That's true. Anyway, Kettering are on the attack on the far side at the moment. Can they get something out of this as ball's going to come over? Alpon gets the ball through for Pataggio there, but he's been muscled off it, gets it through to Thanoj, puts one in, and that was a poor effort there. Goes high and wide over Jackson's goal. And not sure Kettering are going to make another substitution over there at the moment.
Well, a few of the Kettering fans are suggesting to the referee that the Stamford player who's just gone down, I think that's João Varela, is doing so.
We just had 10 minutes on at the end. That's all you've got to do, isn't it?
So cheekily, and the referee is now calling on some assistance for him. That's good. There should be a whole host of added on time.
There's going to be 10 minutes. Stamford have been time wasting and cheating. Well, no, I won't say that word.
Oh,
But,
no, that's not.
but they have been playing the game, the dark arts, quite well here. And goalkeeper and now this guy. All the referee's got to do is add the time on. But of course, it disrupts the play. And a lot of movement with fans at the moment, and stewards, as Ed said. So you're missing nothing as the player is still down, and Kettering are going to make another substitute. Looks like Callum Powell is going to give us a burst. He's got at least, I would think, 15 minutes of this game to try and resurrect the fortunes of a unenamoring display at the moment. Indeed, it is Callum Powell coming on. He's going to replace Preston Bittamo. His evening's work is complete. So, and Varela walking off at a snail's pace.
Preston return. He's the replacement for 22, Alfie Lewis.
So they've said it's Alfie Lewis. They said 20. It's Callum Powell, isn't it?
It's definitely Callum Powell.
Definitely Callum Powell.
Can't do that. I've just tweeted that Powell's come on.
Well, yeah, she's
Yeah, I know exactly. You can't be doing something like that to me.
That's the announcer's got it wrong. That a thrown on the far side for the Poppies. Sends it goes out of play straight away though to Stamford to get the ball in to Thomas. Thomas sends it out long, but Forsyth is at the back. Squares it to Coyle. Challoner trying to chase him down. Coyle out to Powell. Powell, who then is fouled straight away. And what's happening now? Substitution for Stamford. Stamford playing this game very, very well indeed. No board's gone up. Referee is.
But he's not ready for me.
Yeah.
Substitutions, and this goes for everyone. The player should be on the halfway line, ready to go on.
There's always something with Stamford in these games that irks. And this is, don't know who's coming on or not. No one said anything, so we don't know who's come on or whatever. As the ball is played out to Thanodge towards Opongu, can't keep it in. And it will be a Stamford throwing on the far side. $80 minutes, but I'm sure there's a lot more time than the 10 to be added on after all the stoppages. But Kettering need to up their game. And Stamford flicked the ball away, but it comes straight through to Alexander, who's well out of his penalty area. He sends it long. It's a chase for Iwunzi. He won't reach that. He's back with his compatriot. The goalkeeper picks it up. Jackson. And
the frustrating thing really is that Kettering have had moments where they've looked dangerous, but I mean Jackson hasn't really had to save anything. He saved one from Pataggio, and he's not really had to come out and claim many crosses or punch away.
To be fair, Alexander's not had a save to make.
No, this is true.
Again,
however, Stamford are 1-0 up.
They are. And that was the knife through butter moment. That's the only bit of class, really, of the whole evening. If Kettering had made a tackle, that might not have happened, but it did, and that's the situation at the moment. As Forsyth squares it to Robinson. Robinson out wide to Coyle. Coyle has to turn. Switches it on the far side, back to Forsyth. Forsyth. How about some of the fans? That's quite a good one, actually. Wish we could say some of this stuff out, but we can't. as Coyle gets the ball back to Alexander. He sprays it out wide. He'll do well to keep that in, but he has done on that far side. Tajo. Now with Opong. Opong's getting muscled off the ball. Goes down. It's a foul right in front of the Stamford bench. You can't believe it, but blatant. It was blatant.
Yeah, as far away as it is possible. The referee. Oh no, he's given a throw in. Well, in which case the linesman wanted to overrule him. Okay. Throwing it is anyway. It's the same outcome because it goes to the same player. Long ball, it goes forward, flicked on, and Williams is through. Should be. Kai
Williams has got it back to 1-1. Williams' first goal, rams it by, and good, quick, swift movement there. And Kettering equalise in the 83rd minute. That's their first real shot on target, well, second shot on target in this second half. And Kai Williams, who came on for Wes York, rams it by Thomas Jackson right in front of the Kettering fans. And it's 1-1 here at the Zico. Rowe leaves the ball. Goes over everybody. So Stamford now wasted a lot of time in trying to keep it at 1-0. Foul on Forsyth. Free kick to Kettering on the far side. That Forsyth then with this free kick eventually. Yeah, he sends it in the middle towards Uwunza. A little back flick to Williams, but he can't capitalise on that. Cleared by Stamford. And won by Coyle. And then Robinson plays it on to Jack Thomas for a Poppy's throw in. Coyle. Towards Owunzi, but Mazzarano heads the ball out. Throw in from the same spot again. Haven't got you in attendance yet. I don't think Stamford are one of the quickest getting attendances to anybody. Who headed on by Uwanzi, but it's back in Kettering's half on Sanchez. Tong displaced by Rowe. He plays it back to Alexander. Alexander just into the D, plays it to Robinson. Robinson sending it long towards Williams. And he clears it quite easily to Vince. Back on the far side with the number 3 there, Bartle. The throw in to Stamford. Well, 85 minutes, 1-1. I'm sure there's at least 5 minutes to go on to this.
It's got to be more than 5 minutes, I'd imagine, but it's confirmation that it was Kai Williams who scored the goal. The stadium announcer. Still, I wouldn't imagine this game is done. Free kick against Kettering. The Kettering bench furious. Nearly all went up as one with the frustrations.
Well, as we said, these games are really 100 minutes, aren't they? We've been pegged back by Stamford in past games, 97 minutes, 100 minutes. And 1-1. Is there going to be an outcome in this game? Alexander comes out, calls for it, punches the ball out. It's fouled. And handball is that. Handball by
it's a very good call from the referee. It's actually a very good call. Alexander came out, missed the punch, and the Stamford man, it did hit his arm as he turned round, and he sort of hit it away with his arm. Again, even with poppy tinted spectacles on, I actually think that's a very good decision from the referee.
Well, it is a free kick to Kettering. Stamford players not happy with that, but I have a great big stanchion right in front of me.
Yeah, I think, and it's worryingly, if Alexander had made contact with the ball,
he'd been outside his area, wouldn't he?
Outside his area, but he didn't, crucially.
But Robinson, anyway, he's back in his own half, sends it to long for Powell to chase. He won't reach Powell. It does reach Mazzarano, who's knocked off the ball. But Coyle gets it to Powell. Powell flicks it through to Coyle. But he gives it away. Collard clears it. And that's a one header there, one. And then Fataggio is fouled. Be a free kick to Kettering. 88 minutes we're into. Is there going to be a dramatic last minute winner for either side? These games have featured those recently. As Coyle heads it to Powell. Powell then is pushed in the back, goes down. A foul by Mazzarano. And it's Stamford's time to panic a little bit. Thanodge over the ball, halfway in the Stamford half on this left-hand side. Whistle goes, up goes the arm. Thanodge delivers, goes over everybody. There's a collapse there, cleared by Stamford. And Tong and Rowe, but Tong nicks the ball off Fataggio. Away goes Thomas. Thomas then is taken down, but there's a chance here for Tong. Tong puts the ball through, cuts in, saved at the near post by Alexander's foot. And that will be a corner. So Kettering's turn to sweat a little bit. But good movement there from Stamford. Tong's a useful player. And going to be a corner into the 89th minute as Harry Vince, a few keepy up is there as he's going to the corner flag. Stamford fans banging the boards behind the goal. Last time this happened, there was a foul on the keeper that wasn't given by the referee. Punched out acrobatically by Alexander, but it's back with the corner taker. Sells penalty. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. Well, Alexander was a hero to a certain extent on Saturday, saving a penalty. He's now got to face one in the dying moments. I did say in the 90th minute we get a goal. We've got one. Again, it goes to Stamford. Up steps the penalty taker. Little shuffle. 2-1. And that is scored by Harry Vince. Once again, in the 90th minute, that was. Kettering pay the penalty, literally, against Stamford with some unbelievable play. A handball with the arm highly raised.
It's such a handball. It's not even close to not being handball. He stood up straight. I don't know which Kettering
8 minutes of time added on.
8 to be added. I don't know which Kettering player it was, but he stood up straight. The cross has come in, and his arm it's way above his head. You can't argue with it. It was Tong who scored. 8 minutes to go then.
Tong, in fact, scored his second. He's the penalty taker. It's his third penalty of the season. Can Kettering reply with this 8 minutes? A passage of play there that the game management of Kettering in the last few seasons in the dying moments has been appalling. And as away breaks Hobbins, going down that left-hand side, being chased by 2 Kettering players, goes down. That will be a free kick to Stamford. The self-destruct button has been pressed again by the Poppies.
Well, you go at Bromsgrove and you go again today. The goals of Kettering's making.
As Liam McDonald said, all the goals conceded have been individual errors, and these 2 have been individual errors, really. Throw-in has been taken, it's out wide, but it goes for a Kettering throw-in on that far side. Kettering now Being told to take the throw in from the right place. It's back with Rowe on the far side. Forsyth sends it long, headed out easily. Kettering can't retain the ball as away comes Challoner. He'll just try and wind the clock down. It's into the corner that you'd expect. And there is Tong, who's got to be man of the match, I would think, for them. Goes out for a goal kick, though. And Alexander into the 3rd minute of time added on. Robinson sends it long for Powell. It won't reach him. Mazzarano heads the ball out. And Boyle's going to take the throw in. The onesie gets a head on, but it's cleared straight away. Taggio is fouled. Led with the arm. And it will be a free kick on the halfway line as the Stamford fans are singing very, very loudly, hoping to see the first win here at the Seco Stadium. And Kettering heading towards a 3rd consecutive defeat. Thanodge sends it out, but it's headed out by the tall back line of Stamford, and then well worked on the far side by the Daniels. Pushed the ball forward. Rowers missed that one. There's a chance here. Comes in. Good save there from Alexander on his 6-yard box. He bowls the ball out quickly to Coyle. Coyle almost lost it, but then Powell's 1-2. He was fouled in the process. It's a good job as the 1-2 didn't work, but Powell was nudged. Comes back to Coyle. Takes it to Robinson. Robinson back to Coyle. Sends it long towards a onesie. Runs away from the ball, though. Can Powell get there? No handball there as Thanodge squares it back to the side on the centre line spot. Going forward. Puts it out wide to Opong. But he's still got the ball. Can he thread it through? No, he's given the ball away. Wins it back, does well. Bit of a melee, and Stamford clear it, though, quite easily in the end. Come away with it. Stamford throw in. This won't be taken quickly.
Nor should it.
Why should it, indeed?
Nor should it. 390 the attendance. I'd have said there looks a few more in here than that, actually. 390.
Yeah. 390. You've got to say there's at least 100 Kettering fans here, I would think. So that's a pretty poor attendance, really, overall. But Kai Tong has won the... In fact, that is the lowest ever away attendance by Stamford AFC or there against Kettering.
Is it really?
Since 1909-10 in the games that we've played against Stamford, that is the lowest away attendance. They won't care. They're winning 2-1. And time now is running out for Kettering. We're into the 6 minutes of time added on. And they can't get the ball through. There's a foul there on for Taggio. Well, is there going to be a dramatic twist yet again? Getting into that time. Remember, it was 97 minutes here last season. We're into 96 at the moment. It's going to be Coyle this time taking this, not Thanodge. And Coyle over the ball, 3 in the wall. 2 in the wall, sorry. Coyle then on the far side, just outside the penalty area. Whips the ball in. Oh, like a foul there, but it was a decent header. Just went by the post. He wouldn't have counted it had it have gone in. And Stamford are almost there. And Stamford player on his haunches as Thomas Jackson will take as much time as possible to place the ball down. We're into 97, so there's a Just a minute or so left of this game. Thanodge can't control his header. Only gives the ball away to Mazzarano. He plumps it sensibly right down to the corner flag, which can't be kept in. Be a goal kick. Oh, it's a throw in right down by the corner flag to Kettering. Been better if it had gone out for a goal kick.
Really good work from the Stamford player. He knew he wasn't keeping it in, so he thought, what do I want more? And it was a throw in, and he got it as well. 30 seconds left. It's a foul, is it? No, it's not. Throw in for Kettering again. It's too deep for Kettering to even get out of their own half at the minute. After going 2-1 down with 8 minutes to go, Poppies have, well, they've not troubled, have they? There's been no real reaction from Kettering for being 2-1 down. And the ball.
You're right. There's been no reaction from Saturday whatsoever. It's just a continuation from that. Thought they got back into it with the 1-1 with Kai Williams, but sloppy individual mistakes, giving away a penalty, and will consign Kettering to defeat. And Stamford gaining their first home win of the season. And there it is. It's all over. They've won the FA Cup. Well, that's what they think. A good win for them. And where do we go from here? Well, we go to Latimer Park on Saturday. But the question's got to be asked, where do Kettering Town now go from here? That's 3 defeats, lost to the bottom of the league, and I can't see where we go from here.
I can't disagree. I mean, we said, did we not, before Bromsgrove, that you would be looking at Bromsgrove and Stamford as your 6 points, didn't you? The turnaround from this little slump we're in, you're against two sides who are at the wrong end of the table, and you had a chance to get some points on the board. We've not got 1 point.
No.
We've not got 1 point out of those 2 games. And we're about to go to Stamford, to Stourbridge. Sorry, we're not at all, are we?
Latimer Park.
We're at Latimer Park against Stourbridge, who are right down the bottom again. And at this moment in time, can you tell me that you can see the Poppies coming out and turning Stourbridge over?
I can't. I just don't know what the answer is.
Kettering are very, very lucky that we had the start that we had.
We did. Those first 4 games, without that, we'd be in relegation candidates. There is no doubt about it. And Liam McDonald has walked into a fire pit, and it's not getting any easier.
He must have thought at Quorn that that he was on to a good thing here. But that bounce, well, it bounced like a snooker ball, really. It one game, and all of a sudden it's right back into trouble again.
It is.
And into a Christmas period with cold temperatures and a lot of home games in a short space of time, by the way, as well. If you haven't seen, there is going to be a half-season ticket on sale, so you have the chance to get your games at a slightly discounted price up front. But enticing fans who don't have that season ticket through the door is looking a little bit more difficult.
It is indeed. So we're going to leave here very disappointed as the players trudge off. And got a few days to try and resurrect things. But from Ed and myself, from Stamford, we bid you farewell and good night.